Hello and welcome to the Daily Draft, where we take Magic one draft at a time. We are once again back to Battle for Zendikar. I know that there's still Legendary Cube up, but I feel like I'm losing my touch with Battle for Zendikar, so I think the practice is definitely worth it. Stay tuned, because once a couple more people join the queue, we're gonna get started. Alright, waited literally half an hour for that to fire. It's fine. Well, we have one of my favorite cards in draft here, Conduit of Ruin. When you cast it, you may search your library for a colorless creature card with converted mana cost 7 or greater, reveal it, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. So it vamp tutors, or worldly tutors, I guess, for a big creature, and then the first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. There's also a Tide Drifter, Benthic Infiltrator, and Merc Strider here, plus a Stone Fury. I'm just gonna take the Conduit of Ruin though, because I love this card and you can build around it and it's a lot of fun, and we're gonna try to build around it. Also, it's colorless, which is a really nice way to start. But this card is just solid and limited because it keeps the hits coming, as it were. So we have the perfect second pick to follow up our Conduit of Ruin, and we actually have a couple of options. There's Nissa's Renewal if we felt like playing green, which I love green, but I'm not super happy with it right now. Hedron Archive is another colorless mana source, and it helps you get to Conduit of Ruin faster, and also the creatures you get with Conduit of Ruin more consistently, so you're not just stuck with a 10-drop in your hand when your Conduit of Ruin is just murdered. So Hedron Archive, also one of my favorite cards in the format. Ooh, speaking of 10-drops, I'm going to take this to complete disregard though. It's a removal spell, which is pretty important in the format, and Desolation Twin either wheels or is too bad to use, so even with the ramp that I have going on right now. So I'm pretty happy taking up third pick, complete disregard, and hoping that black might be slightly open, although I don't know what you pass for complete disregard. Maybe like Clutches of Currents and Coastal Discoveries and stuff. So we'll have to continue drafting to see. That's not a problem. Well, we have the combo, which is Ulamog's Reclaimer, complete disregard. Like, that's a potential thing to do. There's also like Colostria Healer, but yeah, we're just gonna take the Reclaimer here. Reclaimer, when it enters the battlefield, you can put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, return target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. The combo is you can complete disregard something, it'll be exiled, then cast Ulamog's Reclaimer, process the thing that you just exiled, and get complete disregard back. So it's a pretty fun one, in my opinion. Alright, so there is a Silent Skimmer here, which I like, but we also have Breaker of Armies, which can be our first thing to get with Conduit of Ruin. Hopefully we have at least one more, and hopefully one of them is a Ruin Processor. But Breaker of Armies is a 10/8, all creatures able to block Breaker of Armies do so, and getting out on the battlefield is pretty strong, so it's a pretty big game. So I'll take it. Could take like Dutiful Return here. It's not actually terrible. There's also Colostria Nightwatch, which is, you know, a fine ground guy if you don't have any ways to gain life and give it flying. It's actually just a pretty big body in this format. There's also Dispel, but I think I just take the creature here. Following that logic, we'll take a Nirkana Assassin. That's fine. Not a lot going on in this pack for me. I'll take a Ghostly Sentinel and put it in the sideboard. Ghostly Sentinel is pretty good. I'll put a Call the Scions over here too. We could end up in green if something goes horribly wrong. Or, some would say, horribly awry. Ooh, Mire's Malice. Sweet. Mire's Malice is a great spell to cast with its Awaken cost with Hedron Archives and stuff. I'll take the Natural Connection. I hate this. Converted mana cost. Alright. There's not much of a choice there. Sure. Dang. Alright, cool. Fathom Feeder is a sweet 2-drop. Devoid, Death Touch, Ingest, and you can pay 5 to draw a card, and each opponent exiles the top card of his or her library, which is pretty sweet. We didn't wheel the Merc Strider last time, so I don't really have a lot of hope for this one, but it would be cool if we did. Yeah, pretty easily taking a Fathom Feeder here. It's my second blue card, but... Ooh! Oh my goodness! This is a pack. I'm very excited about it, not gonna lie. So there's a Blight Herder here. When you cast it, you can process 2 cards to make a bunch of Scions, or there's a Coastal Discovery, which draws you cards and can awaken for things. That's a rough one, actually. Like, both of these cards are super good. Our opponent took like an uncommon. I think we actually want the Coastal Discovery more than we want the Blight Herder. First of all, it cuts blue. Second of all, it's just, you know, a fine card on its own. Blight Herder's good too, but I like Coastal Discovery way more. Oracle of Dust is a reasonable sized body for its cost in this format. Alright, so we got Zulaport Cutthroat and also Incubator Drone. I'm just going to take a Drone here. Drone is like secondary to Hedron Archive in terms of mana production, but it's still fine. I mean, Gideon's Approach is probably the best card in the pack, so I'll take it. We could even, like, we're not necessarily committed to playing black. I'll just take a Merc Strider here. Like, black could be a splash. I will take a Shadow Glider. That's a reasonable card. Because if you look, we have Gideon's Approach, Ghostly Sentinel. I'm going to take the Rune Processor here over a Grave Birthing, because I think Rune Processor is better than Grave Birthing, even though we don't really have a lot of ways to ingest yet. Shadow Glider on the wheel. Also Core Castigator. Yeah, I'll take the Shadow Glider. I'll take a Devastator. Hoping not to play it. But, like, if you look, our black cards are Fathom Feeder and Complete Disregard that are, like, top notch. And then we've got Narcana, Assassin, Claustri, and I Watch, and Myers Malice, which are iffy. I'll take a Core Castigator, that's fine. Core Castigator is actually pretty good in the white decks, like any white deck, even if it's more like top-heavy defensive white decks, because it's just like, it can trade up with a lot of different things, and as a result, it can play a good defensive game, or if you draw it later, you can just have a 3-1. Alright, here we're just going to take a Felidar Cub over an Oracle of Dust. We don't need 2. Sure, I'll take another Inspired Charge. We might end up playing it. Who knows? We do have 2 Shadow Gliders. So yeah, like, I'd cut this, keep this, and potentially the Myers Malice. Excuse me. Sure, I'll take a second Gideon's Reproach, that's fine. We do want either a Pilgrim's Eye or a... what's it? An Evolving Wilds. Or like a Sunken Ruins or something. I mean, Clutch of Currents isn't mana fixing, but oh my goodness, that's a Rolling Thunder. Huh. I don't really have the wherewithal to play it though, which is kind of unfortunate. This feels so wrong. Never passed a Rolling Thunder in my life. Between Horribly Awry and a second Clutch of Currents, and like Ondu Rising and Encircling Fissure, if I had this pack in sealed, I'd be very happy. Mostly because there's a Vile Aggregate in it, but also because of like the other things that I mentioned. I think I just take Horribly Awry because I do want more ways to put things in the Exile Zone, but like I would be very happy if one of these wheeled. This is probably not going to wheel, or like a Mist Intruder, or even a Ghostly Sentinel. Alright, so we found a more consistent way to exile things, which is awesome. Hoping to wheel maybe like Dispel. Another Nissa's Renewal, which we are not going to take. I guess I'll take a Cloud Manta. Here there's Anticipate, Incubator Drone, and Kozilek's Channeler. I think we want Kozilek's Channeler as another piece of like ramp. I'm happy taking a Coral Home Guide here. Card's sweet. Especially with things like Rune Processor and Breaker of Armies. Well, not Breaker of Armies necessarily. Fortified Rampart will go to the sideboard because we don't need it. We can probably sideboard Felidar Cub. We gotta sideboard something else too. I don't know what yet. I do want to play Fathom Feeder. Fathom Feeder and Complete Disregard are both fine regardless of when when it is in the game. So like the fact that it's a blue-black spell doesn't matter so much as the fact that I might want to activate it more than once in a turn. Alright, well we're going to take McKinley Patrol. It's going to end up in the sideboard as well. I like the way my deck is looking, but McKinley Patrol and Felidar Cub would probably come in before Fortified Rampart would against decks that are trying to beat me down. I mean, I'm gonna take the Skyrider Elf over Boiling Earth. We don't really care about Boiling Earth. We do care about big flyers. I do like that we have a couple of ways to exile things. Oh man, we wheeled Encircling Fissure. I love this card. This card's good. We have a couple of ways to exile things, so like Horribly Awry, Benthic Infiltrator. That's about it. Finally got her Dispel, so that's good. Complete Disregard and Fathom Feeder, should we choose to accept them. Skyline Cascade's a good pickup because that means I don't have to cut anything, like decide on cutting anything. I'm gonna sideboard the Core Castigator too. Like this is probably over here, honestly, but I like Coral Helm Guide better than Core Castigator. So we need to cut one more thing. Probably just Oracle of Dust since I have the Ulamog's Reclaimer. Yeah. We're gonna add like 3 swamps. Yep. 9, no. 8, 7. We're putting a lot of pressure on our mana base, but I think it can handle it. And we're gonna run it. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna get kind of greedy here. I think switching to white did end up putting us in a deck that was a little bit more powerful than it would have been if we had just taken black cards. So yeah, we'll see how it works out.